Dear students, welcome back. In this video, I am going to share with you another very important poem from your textbook in English class 12th, Flamingo. The name of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. Please don't stop watching this video in the middle or you are going to miss something very important. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. Do you know which figure of speech I have used in my statement? Now, and now. Yes, it's repetition. Repetition is the repeating of a word or phrase. It is a common rhetorical device used to add emphasis to an idea, and I want to bring your attention to it. Subscribe to it right now. And also, please don't forget to like the video in the end. Also, please check the description box below to find the links for all my videos. And now, before entering into the poem directly, let us first of all have a look of Stephen Spender, our poet. Stephen Spender was an English poet and essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. Books by Spender include Poems of Dedication, The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern and an Autobiography, World Within World. In An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequalities. This poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, starts with a question. Have you ever visited or seen an elementary school in a slum? What does it look like? I think the answer of the first part of the question should be yes, because in my view, all of us have seen an elementary school in a slum. And the next part of the question is, what does it look like? And our poet Stephen Spender answers this second question or second part of the question in this poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. Stephen Spender describes his worries for the children who spend their entire life in slums and are deprived of all kinds of opportunities. The opportunities which are given to the children of the other sections of the society. The first thing that the poet describes is the faces of these poor children. The faces of these slum children are very dull and deprived of any kind of energy. They are very weak and they are suffering with malnutrition. Their skin color seems to be pale as they are extremely weak and are suffering from poverty. Their untidy hair hanging around their pale faces looks like rootless weeds. Then the poet speaks about a tall girl who is sitting in the classroom with a weighed down head because of the heavy burden and worries of life. And also, there is a boy who seems to be very thin, just like a paper, and he has the eyes of a rat. This shows that hunger and weakness are clearly visible in the eyes of this child, like a rat. Then the poet speaks about a boy with twisted bones, and he is reading out his lesson from his desk. And also he is suffering with the disease with which his father is also suffering. He is suffering with the disease of twisted, swollen joints. Then the poet speaks about one more child in the same classroom who was sitting at the back in his dim classroom. This child seems to be lost in his dreams. He's lost in the dreams of the games that the squirrels play in their tree room. And this room of the squirrels is entirely different from the room where the child is sitting, since the classroom of the child is gloomy and deprived of any hope and energy. But the squirrel's room is full of happiness and energy because the squirrels are free from the worries of life and they're enjoying their lives. Then the poet takes us to the walls of the classroom. The walls of the classroom are off-white or yellowish. This dull color symbolizes the miserable situation of the children and underlines the neglect in their lives. On these walls, the poet finds the names of the people who have donated different things to build this classroom. These walls also have the pictures of a cathedral dome, of Shakespeare's head, of a cloudless dawn, and of flowery valley of Tyrol. The classroom also has a big open map hanging on the wall showing all the seas and lands that the world has. The map in the world symbolizes, listen to this, it's very important. The map in the poem symbolizes the knowledge of development around the world that is away from their reach, the reach of these slum children. It depicts the world of the rich and the powerful. The map shows the slum children a world that is not theirs and which is full of attractions. There are beautiful shapes, warmth of the sun, and love. The children are simply tempted to steal them by running away from their miserable surroundings. So, the beautiful and attractive things of the map develop desires and aspirations in the hearts of the slum children, but actually, it is a world that is beyond their reach or unconnected to them. But unfortunately, the world of these poor children is a different kind of a world, deprived of all kinds of opportunities which are given to the other children. For these children, the world is limited to the windows of their classroom where all their future is painted with fog. Means their future is unclear and uncertain and they are unable to see beyond the windows of their classroom. The outside world to them is just a foggy street under the dull sky. Their world is far from the world of rivers and caves. It is far different from the stars of words, promise, or the hollow promises made to them by the politicians. Stephen Spender says that all the things and pictures hanging on the walls of the class are meaningless to these children. These things can only lead to falling into temptations that will lead them to steal. These children spend all their lives in their narrow holes. They are so weak and thin that their bones are clearly visible under their skin. For these children, maps of the world are meaningless. The poet wants to say that it would be better to blot their maps with slums as big as doom because eventually their present situation will ruin their lives. The poet then appeals to those who are in power to liberate these slum children. That is the governors, inspectors, and the visitors. He appeals these people to break open the windows which appear to have sealed the bright future of these children. He would like to see these children to enjoy the educational facilities in this world and run carefree on the golden sands and enjoy a new life and freedom. He eagerly desires that each and every child should be able to enjoy the fundamental right to freedom. All these slum children should have an access to all kinds of books. Also, they should be able to learn from nature around them. And then the poet finally says, history theirs, whose language is the sun. Meaning, the people who have the warmth and strength of the sun can create the history. Now let's discuss some difficult words and lines used in this poem. Number one, the first line of the first stanza says, "Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces." Gusty waves means sudden and strong waves. This symbolizes energy and excitement, but unfortunately, the faces of these slum children are deprived of any energy and excitement. And then, number two, the fourth line of the first stanza speaks about a boy who is described as stunted or underdeveloped, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. This is about a boy who is very weak and underdeveloped. He is reciting his lesson from his desk and is suffering from the same disease as his father. That is, disease of twisted, swollen joints. His father suffered that disease because he was very weak and was suffering with starvation, and in the same way, this boy is also suffering with the same disease. He is also suffering with starvation and malnutrition. And now number three, it's about map. Map used in the second stanza. The map in the poem symbolizes the knowledge of development around the world that is away from their reach. It depicts the world of the rich and the powerful. The map shows the slum children a world that is not theirs and which is full of attractions. There are beautiful shapes, warmth of the sun, and love. The children are simply tempted to steal them by running away from their miserable surroundings. So, the beautiful and attractive things of the map develop desires and aspirations in the hearts of the children, these slum children, but actually it is a world that is beyond their reach or unconnected to them. Now, the next point, number four, stars of verse, meaning dreams which are shown to these slum children by the politicians or the hollow promises, hollow words. Now, number five, the third stanza speaks, surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map, a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Actually, Shakespeare is not at all wicked. The map is not a bad example, but for these children, first of all, their basic needs are to be met and the basic facilities and equal opportunities are to be provided to them, and then only Shakespeare will be useful for these children and the map will be a good example. And now number six. The fourth and the fifth line of stanza 3 speak about these slum children. On the slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones. This means that they are too thin that their bones are visible or seen under their skin. And now, seventh point, the last stanza of the poem says, unless governor, inspector, visitor. This map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Meaning of catacombs? A long underground gallery with excavations in its sides for tombs. So the windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and the green leaves open. History theirs whose language is the sun. Explanation. In these lines, the poet calls upon the governor, the inspector, the visitor to break open the windows of the classrooms of the slum children, which appear to have sealed the future of these children. The poet wants to see the children enjoying all kinds of facilities in this world and run carefree on the golden sands and enjoy a new life and freedom. The white leaves represent the printed word and the green leaves the natural world, both of which are very important in the overall development of a child. I repeat, listen to this. The white leaves of the books and green leaves of trees play a very important and an equal role in the growth and development of children. So, this is the end of the poem, and I hope that you have enjoyed and understood this poem. And to have a clear understanding of this poem, kindly watch this video at least twice. Also, you are requested to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.